Welcome to the Balancesuite. I'm Panta, and today I just want to have a little chat and discuss something that I think a lot of us struggle with, and that is relying on vices and just some of the life lessons and some of the tips that help me to escape the grips of these vices. And when I'm talking about vices, I mean whether you turn to alcohol, sex, pornography, drugs, and yeah, let's get right into it. So I think when you're trying to escape a vice, one of the first things that you have to do is start with a desire for change, a desire to want to stop. You can begin to feel some sort of shame or guilt, like you might be getting high in front of a kid and then you see the child's, innocent eyes and you're just like, yeah, I need to stop. Transparency and accountability. The first thing is being transparent with yourself. You got to look in the mirror and just say, hey, you know what? I'm struggling. I have a problem. Because oftentimes when we're in the midst of it, when we're lost, we will justify our bad habits. We'll be in denial, I could stop anytime I choose to or I want. And for me, I'll give you an example. My personal vice that I had struggled with in the past was pornography. And I would say, you know what? I could stop anytime I want to. So then I put myself to the test and I was like, this month, I'm not going to do it. And wow, that's the time when I realized that something that started off occasionally, I kept on doing it. It became habitual. And now I realized, wait up. I'm actually addicted, because when I gave myself that test, I failed. Besides being transparent to yourself, you're going to have to learn to be transparent to others. You have to muster up the courage to be transparent and say, hey, go to a professional. I'm struggling with this particular vice. I need help. Or be transparent to your family or loved ones. And let me say this. Be transparent to responsible people, because if you're transparent to someone who's irresponsible, they may be like, oh, keep on getting high. It's okay. You got one life to live. We're going to die anyway. Can't do this alone. So that's why it's important to be transparent, because, even if you don't seek help from others and you're transparent with yourself, that might be the first step to you just ordering a self-help book on the topic or going on Google and researching. It's extremely helpful to not try to battle this alone. So surround yourself with professionals or people that can help guide you. And that's the next step, is that formulating a good concrete escape plan. And I think one of the first things you do before you even get into too much technicalities is to start with the origin, the core. Attack and identify the core. Many people rely on vices as a way of escapism, to fill a void, for pleasure. So when you start to identify the core, one of the helpful things is just asking these questions. What am I trying to escape from? What am I deficient in? What is the void? What is possibly causing me pain that I am so desperate for thrill-seeking pleasure? And it starts right there. And I'll use myself as an example. My vice was pornography. And when I looked at the core, it was the void of love. I had a void, I felt like I was not receiving love and I was not in a position to give love, and I'm a loving person. So that was devastating to me. When I was trying to pursue or court a woman, they would be like, oh, you got to get yourself together. I don't trust you. You don't look like a man that could provide security. And then that rejection made me more insecure. So now when I look at it, I could not obtain the type of love, so I was substituting it with lust. I was trying to escape my insecurities, a feeling of inadequacy. I was going to pornography to, just release those dopamines and feel pleasure. What you want to do is start to find healthy ways. Exercise. I might meet a homeless person and it goes beyond giving them money. I'm a loving person, so I'm like, you know what? I'm stopping everything. I'm spending the entire day with this person and we're talking, I'm getting to know this person, and they leave me with something strong. You're really God saying you're an angel. The same dopamines I got from watching porn, it was even 10 times greater with just loving my neighbor, loving a homeless person. And when they tell me that, I just feel like elated. The next thing is you want to formulate a curriculum. Idolatry is the devil's playground. Formulating a curriculum that is productive and healthy keeps you busy. I would start creating daily tasks. In the beginning, I made the error of just trying to do everything in one day. You know, I wanted to just get the result. Tomorrow, I'm gonna do 10 things. And even if I achieve 5 of them, I didn't complete all 10, so I still would feel insecure. I'm like, damn, I'm a failure. I didn't complete all of my tasks. So I'm just giving you a heads up, you know, something that I wish I knew when I was going through the process. Just scale back. Pick some realistic micro goals that you can achieve. And why I say that, instead of 10, say, you know what, I'm gonna go with 3 daily goals. So when you're able to accomplish those 3 daily goals, you're not overwhelming, you're not focusing on what you weren't able to do. You're like, hey, at least I did 3 things. Repeat that. Or you know, your micro accomplishments that you've done daily turns into weekly accomplishments, monthly, and then yearly. And then you're looking at the year and you're like, wow, I have grown so far. Next thing that you want to concentrate on is setting rules and taking action. Beautiful woman in front of me, I'm like, don't look around, don't look around, don't look around, don't look around. I would constantly be just turning around. I felt like out of control. I set a concrete rule. I am not turning around. I can appreciate a woman without objectifying them. Your boy was struggling. I claim that I respect women, and here I am just lusting and objectifying them. So I didn't want to be that type of man. I had all these lustful images. It was starting to affect me. It was taking over, consuming all these thoughts. So that's why it's important that you filter what you look at. And yeah, it took an entire year, and then I started to master that. So it's just, you know, weaning yourself off slowly. You know, I would set other rules. Like, you know, I would be looking at pornography all day. So baby steps. I'm gonna set a time and I'm gonna stick to it. If I notice that I've been, you know, on the computer watching pornography for 8 hours, I'm like, you know what, 7 hours. Guess what? I'm not completely stopping, but again, it's progress. Today, I'm at 7. Next week, I'm at 6. And then eventually, you'll master your sins. You'll master, you know, escaping your vices. It's about grace. Allowing yourself grace. Some people may be able to get rid of their vices cold turkey overnight, but most of us, it's going to be a journey. It's going to be a process. And even myself, I have mastered my vices. I have been consistent, but that doesn't mean I'm above relapsing or something in the future could trigger. And I understand that. If it should happen, I give myself grace. I go, you know what? You have the opportunity to get back on course. There is another day. Don't be so hard on yourself. It happens. That's part of the process. Hopefully, some of the lessons that I've learned can help you along with your journey. And feel free to comment some of the devices that you may be struggling with, or if you've been able to escape from your vices, certainly share some tips with others that can possibly help them. So once again, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you, neighbors, and may peace be with you. And again, if you're struggling with a vice, you can do this. You can do this.